We are here every Wednesday for Women Supporting Women Wednesdays. Tonight, I have a special guest, my little sis TT. How you doing, Taraza?
I'm doing great. Hey, everybody. Hey,
Yes,
everybody.
yes. We are here every Wednesday for Women Supporting Women Wednesdays here on the YouTube channel at 9:15. Be sure to subscribe, share, and like, and click the notification link. Before we get started, I definitely want to send condolences and prayers to young Doss family. This tragic loss is something that we constantly continue to see in the Black community. And it's just time for us to just stop. It's just ridiculous. We already, deal with police brutality and all this other stuff of being profiled and just so much. And it's like we don't do better with our own community. And it's just sad. So I definitely want to, send my condolences to everyone that's affected in this tragedy and pray that, everyone is safe because from my understanding, they're trying to do like a lockdown or they did a lockdown in Memphis today.
Mm-hmm.
So, prayers go out to everybody affected in his tragedy, his death. So TT, tell everybody about yourself. Look, you don't need no welcome. You're my little sis. And I know you run a successful nonprofit and
Thank
you are doing
you.
stuff with the law firm. So just tell everybody what you're doing. And
Yes.
look, you go ahead, honey. The floor is
Yes.
yours.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, Ruth, I am super honored and humbled to be a part of this. I think what you're doing is amazing. We need more of women supporting women. I think we are powerful. That's going to be a word I will use majority of the night. When we are better together. Again, my name is Taraza Tyler. I am the founder of Power and Community. We are parents owning wealth through education and resiliency. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. We were established in 2018, but became official in 2019. I remember, I'll go back and say that what we do and the mission is we help parents with educational and mental health resources. And so you can learn more about us at www.powerinccommunity.org. So back to me being the nonprofit being established. We were established in 2018, November 2018. It was when I am a member of Raleigh North Christian Center under Apostle Dr. Chapman Jr., no senior, sorry. And basically what happened, we were talking about the new year and his focus was vision. And after he was talking about vision, he also talking about your purpose. And then are you living every day on purpose? And on the way home, that was in my head the whole time. Are you living on purpose? Are you stepping into your destiny? Are you doing what you're called to do? And, praying about what I wanted next. I feel like I was going in cycles because I was not obeying what God was calling me to do right then and there. And so I remember the church fasting and praying. I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to join in on the fasting early instead of waiting to the new year.
Right.
To see what God is calling me to do because I was tired of going in cycles. I knew what I wanted next. You know how we plan and then God unplanned. I knew what I wanted next, but I felt like I was frustrated because I was stuck and I couldn't figure out why I was stuck. So long story short, I went home and I prayed about it and he showed me the nonprofit. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So I'm just going to be disobedient. I'm just going to be disobedient. And I was just like, I'm not doing that. But then he started showing me that in order for me to give you what you want back, you have to do this first so you'll be on fire when I do give you what you really desire, what you really want. I was like, okay, I'll obey. So I remember praying. He started showing me people. I remember the first person I told was PJ. PJ is one of my mentors. Edmund Lewis, thank you. And then second, he showed me you. And I was like, Ruth ain't got time to sit down with me. What is she going to, what? That's the whole boss. I was intimidated because I was intimidated by going to PJ. I was like, he's a whole man. How's he's going to help me? And then I remember meeting with you, but it was you guys' testimony. And people telling me more about how it was hard. The nonprofit is hard and you're not going to see it over time. And you sharing the same thing, it's hard, but you're there to serve the purpose. It's the people, it's giving back. And then after that, I remember him showing, the board members. I was like, no, not going to have them, but they are phenomenal women. And there were the people that I needed. And so after that happened, everything just took off. And after that, we officially became established in 2019. In the past 2 years, I can say that we have served maybe this year, I know alone, we have served over 100 families. And it has been tough and challenging because of COVID.
Right.
And so at first I didn't know what my purpose really was with Power in Community, but then, I started thinking about my story and the things that I have beaten. I said that before, I've beaten the odds and the things I've overcome and the challenges that we face as parents, not just single parents, but parents. I tell people all the time, you can take single off of it, but just because she's married doesn't not that you're not a mother. Both of you guys are moms. Both of you guys have challenges. Same with fathers. Some fathers knock themselves because they feel like they're not where the other father used to be, but y'all are both going through the same things, just different times.
Right.
Depending on the age of the child, every age child is different, every parent differently.
Right.
So, me being a single parent, having to take a leave for law school, not really knowing, how to be a mother. I was raised in a single parent home by, two women. Well, my mom and then my grandma raised me. So they were both single parents at the time.
Right.
Mom had me at 16, so she was limited resources. But I knew that when I birthed my child, I wanted things to be different. So that I started doing research. And that's something that we do not like to do. Right. And so I started doing research and I tried to figure out resources on my own. I reached out to people that I knew that I didn't want to know that I was pregnant, but it's like I needed help.
Right.
And so the main goal is to help parents go from not only surviving, but to thriving as a parent.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's one of the hardest jobs in life is being a parent.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? My daughter just had a whole meltdown yesterday about somebody calling her a donkey. And I was just like, you're having a meltdown because somebody called you a donkey? Like, I know I'm raising you to be stronger than that, but I had to, you know what I'm saying? Just have a conversation with her. And she was like, yeah, mommy, I'm fine. It's okay. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah. And times are different because, back in the day when kids would pick on us, we'll fight them, get our cousins. But it's like a lot of your cousins don't go to the same school.
Right.
You guys are far away. And so like when Skylar get bullied all the time for like her weight because she is 6, well, she's 7. And she's bigger than some of the kids in her class. But I tell Skylar, don't be mean, but tell them that's not nice.
Exactly.
You're not being kind. And you tell the teacher. Now, if the teacher, she's not or he's not able to handle it, that's when you come to me. Never try to take matters in your own hands because bullying is real.
I tell them to take matters into their own.
I mean, because sometimes people are too busy handling everything, and that's fine. But I definitely tell Skylar, make sure you tell the teacher now. You get home and your teacher, that's when I handle it with the teacher because it's like I don't need my child to be out here depressed. So many the increase. The rate increased last year with so many kids committing suicide, because they was depressed, not only with COVID, but they were cyberbullying.
It's true.
Like so many things.
Yep.
So yeah, it's hard and it's different.
Yeah, I was like, look, I'm raising you to be strong. I'm raising you to be a leader. I'm raising you to, speak up against somebody treating you some type of way. And if they didn't treat you right and teacher didn't do nothing about it, then you know what? You know who was above that teacher. You don't gotta wait till you get home to mommy. Mommy has taught you to be a leader. You know what to do. Check. I wouldn't have had no problem with her saying, because she said the teacher laughed or something. And I was like, and you should have asked her, why is she laughing?
Yeah,
right. I don't care if you got 5 points off or whatever. Like, right is right and wrong is wrong. And I'll be damned. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
Listen. Somebody says you need to have a comeback. You need to look. No, let's go. My mom, I'm raising them to be, strong leaders. Like I was picked on my entire life, especially not having my parents, especially being, and like we already deal with the colorism in our own culture. And so I dealt with that, you know what I'm saying? And I was definitely dealing with the identity crisis because I was mixed. I mixed. And so I dealt with that. I didn't really know what my race was. I knew I was Black. My mom is Black, but I knew that my dad was mixed. I knew my dad was, more than one race. And I just battled with that. And my adopted mom, she's on my mom's side. So she really didn't understand that I was mixed. And she would really go off when I would fill out my forms and I would put multiracial and stuff like that. And she was like, you're not multiracial, you're Black. And I had to deal with all of that. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't know until I got married. And she was like, oh my God, your grandmother is white. And I'm like, I keep trying to explain this to you. Like my mom, you don't know my dad's side. You know my mom's side. I'm adopted by you, but you don't really know my background. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. So like,
really hard. I know that was hard.
It definitely was. And having to explain to kids like, you don't look like her. You don't look like him. Like, I know that's my adopted parents. And then where's your real mom? And
and they ask a lot of questions now.
They
Back in the day, we couldn't ask questions, we couldn't say certain things, but now it's like our kids ask everything. And like I tell people, like the bond I have with Skylar is because I'm honest. Like I'd rather for her hear it from me than her to learn it somewhere else in the school. And she's like, well, mommy, today they told me this, so why didn't you tell me? I want to be real with her at all times and feel like she can ask me anything, because right now you can say social media and the internet is teaching our kids stuff, and then of course we have to go back and tell them, but it's just like you have to be honest. If they ask questions, you have to be honest, and they don't really understand, so you have to do it or have a concept where they do understand what you're saying.
For sure, they are being exposed to so much. I remember my daughter coming home one day, it was maybe she was like in 5th grade, and she was like, mommy, some students came to school with a book about periods, and I'm like, oh God, like I gotta have this conversation. You know what I'm saying? You just do not know what, they are being exposed to. And the more we can equip them with, information and stuff like that, the better they can be. Hey, Ashley.
Hey, Ashley.
What's up to me, girl? Looking like Venom Cosmetics. Thank you guys so much for following and for joining us tonight. But yeah, it's sad. And, they are exposed to more at a younger age. We were exposed, and as the years progress, the more they progress as what they learn. And so it's just having a conversation like today. My youngest said, Quay. My youngest said something about like, what was suicide? Because I think my oldest had said something, and I said, I explained it to her. I want her to understand what it is, but it's like, that's one of the hardest jobs in life, is being a parent. And I just pray every day that I'm the best mom that I can be. I try to just, pour into them and teach them the things that I felt like I needed. And not baby them. I definitely don't baby them. I make sure that I grow up. Listen, no, you about to listen. You gonna be strong. Your mama's a survivor.
That is
you
me.
Got no choice. Listen,
tough love.
They be like, mommy, damn.
Yeah, they were like, TT. I'm just like, well, no, I don't want to baby her. I don't want, because in this generation, they are totally babied.
They are.
And they don't know what it is to be on their own. Like, she can't get a toy. She's the only child. No, she can't always get a toy. Like, I'm trying to build generational wealth. Like, I am trying to break the curse. Like, I'm not trying to make it seem like every time she gets money, this is what she needs to do. She need to know about finances. I didn't know nothing about that until my daddy introduced that to me. And then I still wasn't trying to hear him, because I'm like, I'm trying to go get this baby fat fur coat.
Right.
I ain't trying to hear about credit and money right now. I'm just trying to be here and be cute up in Raleigh. But then, like, to this day, it makes sense. And so I do feel like, sometimes I'll be like, well, I shouldn't have said that. But it's like, she's baby. Like, it's, I just got to break it. Like, no. And it's hard. Like you said, it's really hard, because you do pour in them. And I'm big on affirmations. Thanks, Ashley, for that. Like, only, I do them, but I also make sure I do them with her. We pray before school. And then I also make sure that I communicate with her. And then I'm being real. I expose her. If I go to brunch and my child can come, she's coming.
Yep, me too. Right? My kids everywhere. Shit.
Yeah, you do. They be on boats and everything. I'm like, look at them little bosses.
Girl, listen, I tell everybody, they might not understand it all the way, but put them in the room. Right? Take them to the bank. Let them put money in their account. Like, the Black community has to start really talking about the things that we have not talked about. We do not talk about generational wealth. We don't talk about pouring back into our kids. We might buy houses, but we don't explain that to the kids. No, my children are going to be in the room. You need to understand, mommy bought this house. She plans to fix this house up. She plans to flip this house. Mommy got this over here. Mommy got this. Like, we need to talk about some real life stuff as early as possible. Expose them to it. Because don't think that white folks ain't exposing their children to it. They go hunting early. They be on bank
around it every day.
Y'all got payroll, add them kids to payroll as early as possible, so they can start collecting a check and start collecting Social Security. Let's talk about generational things. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Got to.
And they don't understand it. And I think sometimes when you're trying to talk to other family members about it, they'll make it seem like you're better than them. But no, what it is, I had a mindset shift. Right. I knew for me to take care of my village now, education was my only way out.
Right.
I knew that doing this or staying stuck would not be able to help me get where I needed to be. Right. And so education, that was my way out. And so recently when I got invited to a ceremony in North Carolina Central School of Law, I told the attorney, hey, I'm gonna be getting off work. My daughter gonna have to come. He was like, that's fine. I'm gonna put you down on the list and I'm gonna add her too. Skylar, the only child there, but in the room full of so many people that are powerful in the legal field. Like she took a picture with Congress Butterfield, Congress Butterfield, and she was like, oh my God, I'm famous. Yes. You are. You famous. Right, because he took a picture with you. Right. Period. So it's like you got to be able to expose your kids. I know she didn't really understand the ceremony, but it was just good for her to be around us, people that look like us, that are dressed up, that are talking, that are speaking well, that's talking about giving back, the impact. Martin Luther King Jr. So when she heard that, she was like, "Oh my God, he marched for Martin." He did. Yep. So I think it's very important to talk about generational wealth and exposing your kids. But I can definitely say sometimes it's really hard when you're trying to talk about it with people that do not, their mindset is still there. Right. And it's not really their fault. It's from how they was raised. Yep. It's trauma, and it's them not really trying to break the curse. And that's what we really do over there at Power Inc. Community. Not only are we helping you go from surviving and thriving, but we're giving you the proper tools to help you break these generational curses. You know, we got affirmations. You know, we are helping the homeless. We are giving back. We have financial coaches. We can help you with a budget sheet. Everything that you need is there. Right. Every day is so hard because people are like, well, we need to see it on social media. So I can't expose every parent, because if I expose some parents, you're going to be shocked that they are with 13K followers and we over here helping, but it's okay. Everybody needs help. We're not judging, but we like to keep our parents confidential and we like to keep them safe. There's their business, and we're going to help them continue to help them thrive.
Exactly. And, you know, I had to remember that I can't help everybody. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm
you got to be willing and you got to be able. If you ain't willing and you ain't able, I'm good. We good. I mean, if you're unwilling and you're unable, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you got to meet me halfway. Help me help you. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to learn that sometimes, you know, it's okay for me not to be able to help this person, but I'm able to help this person over here. And they appreciate it. They need it, and they are open to getting this help. And then you have some that's, you know, they need the help and they act like they too prideful and they don't want to ask for nothing. They don't want to go to the homeless shelter. They don't want to go to the battered woman center, you know, to the battered woman center, but they want to continue to get their tail beat. Okay, sis, that's what you choose to do. I was in a battered woman situation. I had my ass beat by a man, you know what I'm saying, multiple times. And guess what? I got out of there, but it's choice. You know what I'm saying? It's choice, and it's hard. And I'm not saying it's not hard, but it's just all about really like what you want. We all got the same 24 hours, and it's all about setting a goal and continue to just try to push forward with it. So I'm just so proud of you and what you're doing with Power Inc. Community.
Thank you.
And, you know, just continue to just push forward, and, you know, one step in front of the other, you get to the other side and you'll be able to help the people you're supposed to reach.
Yeah. And I think that's something that I'm dealing with this week. I think since we did have the Power Inc. anniversary and I dropped that video, I have become like more relatable. Mm-hmm. And one of my friends was like, we know TT, you know, people see the pictures and they see all this stuff, but now you expose more relatable. It's Ashley. I was like, girl, referrals out the roof. I feel like I'm not going to be able to help everybody. And she was like, well, now you're more relatable. You know, people see the pictures. They're not really reading the captions, because I'm definitely putting
they don't be reading that stuff.
And I was just like, you know, maybe if I get up here and I'm crying, maybe people will get it. But I'm with you. Like I can't help everybody, because everybody feel like, oh, you can get me into a house today. There's a way in this. Right. But then I had to explain to one parent, I want you to come. You are way more blessed than there's a family that's homeless in downtown Raleigh. If you can come and walk with me, it will blow your mind. Right. Because these people are just happy if I stop by and give them food. And then if I do report them the resources, some of them don't want to go into a shelter. Some of them have been molested and raped in a shelter. So they're okay with living on the streets where their kids. But you're thinking that I can help you, and I can't, because it's your pride. You don't want to give me certain information. You don't want me to connect you to who I need to connect you to, because you think they might know you. So it's to me this week, I really had to pray, because it's like, I'm trying to help this person, but I can't help them. And then I feel like I can't save them. And then back to domestic violence victims, we have had a couple, and they do say it's hard. And sometimes they go back because of protection. They feel like, and I'll help them as far as I can take them. But it's like they go back and I'm like, oh my God, like I don't know what to do. And then, you know, my therapist was like, Taraza, it is not your fault.
Yeah.
It's like
it's bad, but we can't do everything.
Yeah. It's like that's where they want to go. And it's going to take them to say one day, okay, I'm enough. I'm going to leave. But it's like I have went through all of this process with you to get you out, and then you go back. And I don't, and like you said, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But I all I can do is pray. And I'm sorry that you had that experience. And
he's stronger. I mean, I don't even think about it. And as she said, I believe certain people are assigned to your voice. Everybody is not your assignment.
That's the word for me.
That is the truth.
That is true.
Oh my God. Because the people that know you really don't. I mean, some of them, you know, follow you and believe what you're saying and is, you know, rooting for you and stuff like that, of course. But it's the people that you don't know that you touch the most. You know what I'm saying? It's people energy. It's people that you touch, and it's just like you don't even know why you talking to them. You don't even know why you're even relating to anything, dealing with them or whatever. But that's God, and you can't question. You know, when God tell you to say something to somebody, say it. You know, just trust that instinct, trust that feeling, and trust how you feel when it's not right too.
Yeah, and I'm still praying about more of that. I just have to stop beating myself up when I can't.
Self-sabotage is real, TT. You can't be doing it.
It is. And I used to be so good. And then it's like people are just, everything is just booming.
That's the devil.
Just like,
The devil comes at you in the areas that he knows is your weakness. The areas that he knows you are vulnerable. Fear is mine.
Yeah, mine too.
You know,
no, like we talked about earlier, just being transparent.
Yeah.
Woo.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Like, if I really unloaded all the stuff. Like people think that book is something. If I truly unloaded everything, the whole room will be crying. But I just don't know how to. You know, piece by piece, I unload. You know, on social media, but I'm not able to per se unload everything all at once. Or
and same here.
Process.
It's same here because I said, baby, if I unload the clip. So many people are going to be like ducking, hiding, like, oh my God, I'm exposed. But see, I'm not God, and I'm not going to expose you.
Exactly.
Because I'm telling you, God can handle
God. Yep.
People
Karma's God's job.
Way better than you can. So that's why I tell people, like, social media make everybody look good. But I mean,
when
you get to that gate.
Exactly. That's why I'll be like, you got to answer to somebody higher than me. You know,
my grandma tell me all the time, them likes, them followers, them people, even when I used to get bullied in middle school, none of them people, they're going to have to answer to God. That's the only person that's going to be at the gate with you. Exactly. And my goal every day is for him to say, well done. That's it. That's it.
So I know you're doing this. What are you doing for TT? What are you doing to pour back into yourself for self-care?
So self-care to me, self-care to me, I do like going to get a massage. I know people will like, self-care not really is the spa thing. Listen, let me tell you what self-care for me is. When Tyler was with her dad, I am out here mommying hard. Okay. I'm out here. Like, no, not out here, but I'm like out here, taking myself to eat. I'm hanging with my friends if they're available. And I'm checking on people. But in my spare time, like in my downtime, of course, I definitely have a therapist. And so we do talk. And it's not always bad stuff. It's just when so many good things are going for me, you start to question, like, this is happening for me.
Girl, that's self-sabotage.
I'm like, sorry.
We doing this? God,
no.
What happened?
Listen. And so, am I good? Yeah, that's me. And so I do that. I do a whole lot of writing.
Yeah.
I definitely love going to the spa. I do staycations. I tell people all the time, staycation is it. You don't have to travel far. Raleigh Durham out here looking like Atlanta and the mini Charlotte. So
it's true.
You can do a lot here. Staycation is real.
Yeah. Shout out to the booze looking for ideas. I mean, what she said, staycations work.
Staycation works.
Y'all don't mind me. Look, I be talking trash.
Staycation works.
Like, what if I was at? Okay, y'all slipping. These men folks slipping out here. Okay.
Staycation. And it's not, that could talk about relationships all day. We going to stick to
right.
Staycations are it. I mean, and then, I like going out to eat.
Yes.
I love to eat. That's pretty much all I do, honey. I don't know when the last time I took a run, but I'm gonna get back to exercising because it does help me mentally. And other than that, I love networking. If anybody know me, I'm sociable. I love networking. I pop up at a networking event. And that's what I can say about now. I'm in corporate law. I love what I do and the people I'm around because they know people.
Right.
And my names really be floating around the firm. And I'm like, oh, all right, cool. Yep.
Right.
Yep. This is what I do.
Exactly.
And so in my downtown, my self-care is really simple. I love getting a massage. I love getting my nails and toes done, Starbucks run. I love to go to like TJ Maxx, all them stores like that, Target. And then staycation. And then hanging with my girls when I can. Date here or there. So hopefully.
Right. I've been looking real low, sis. I'm like, look, I'm about to go some people like, look, I ain't need trying to talk to nobody right now. Yeah, y'all annoying the hell out of me.
Yeah. So other than that, like, that's pretty much what I do. And then I might work on my goals in some downtime. Good. But other than that, I can't really say I watch TV because I really don't have time. Yeah, don't know nothing about these shows that's popping off, but I feel like next week I'm gonna be able to watch all the shows. Insecure, I'm gonna be able to watch all the shows in 1 week. But I just be telling people with my hours in a day, I just really feel like I have to stick to my to-do list. And I'm okay with not getting everything done. But I think also, working a full-time job, running a nonprofit, you got to be present in your child's life. And so today, Skylar was like, so I got to go to bed early because you got another meeting. So when is your next meeting? And so it's just like, they know when you are busy and they know when they need your time. So she was like, you can at least put me to bed since you got a meeting. Like, they know when you're not present. So they know when, and that's my thing I'm trying to get back to, not trying to be so busy that I'm not being present and my daughter know that I'm super busy.
But you can incorporate her. Like my kids will be like, you got live at 9:15, Mama, you got 15 minutes. You got to get downstairs. Like my youngest be like, Mommy, it's men supporting men Mondays. You need to do men's Monday. And I know
that would be dope.
I've done it a couple times, but like my youngest be like, Mommy, you ain't done it in like weeks. You need to do it. You need to get up there. And I'm tired. I don't have time, Mommy. You got to do it. It's not fair. You're doing girls and you're not doing men. So I just had a conversation with one of my guy friends that have a podcast, and we're gonna collaborate and do one together.
Yeah, I talk to so many bomb men on the like I'm telling, like they're dope. They're amazing, but I feel like we don't have enough men supporting men. Like, women with us, we can do this. We can get talking all day. Right. But men be having some deep conversations. I'll be like, what?
Yes.
It's like, what? Like, and it really be deep and it be good. And it's just like, we need more of this. Like, why we don't have this? Why we don't have these fatherhood discussions? Or why we don't have men talk about mental health? All day long, I can talk to my director of mental health, a resources Shayna, all day about men and how they feel.
Right.
And then I'm even sending links to my board members like, hey, jump on this fatherhood discussion. So you have to know how men think and how they take everything in and how they carry things. And then just to hear them start talking.
Yes.
It's mind blowing. And it'd be good.
It's the truth. And then the men that come to me sometimes are telling me, the things that I've experienced, they've experienced too. And I don't know what, and I'm just like, oh God, like in tears, just like, oh my God, like I didn't know, what I'm saying, that you
don't think they go through that, but I have definitely talked to some fathers that are also domestic violence victims, have been raped, have been molested, have been from home to home, have been like, so like a lot of things. And it's mind blowing because you look at him and be like, ain't no way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way. But then it's just like, this is what they have really experienced. And I'm like, oh my God.
Right. And it's important to pour back into them. Shout out to the men. Shout out to surviving and thriving and trying to, keep one foot in front of the other and maintain through this pandemic and through life in general. Shout out to the parents and everybody that's, really just trying to make a way for their children so that they don't, experience the things that we've experienced. And that's my goal every day, is that they don't experience none of the things that I've experienced, and that I just try my best to be the best person that I can be. But like you said, being authentic, exposing them, having them around. You can say hello. You right here anyway. Prime example.
She grew up so fast.
Listen, she be all
She
in it
grew up
like,
so
what's going
fast.
on, mommy?
She grew
But
up
that's
so
my
fast.
biggest support, man.
Yeah.
That's my biggest support. And if I got God, I got them. I'm like, let's go. You know?
Yeah. No, but I'm with you. I can't tell people enough. Like, you have to be authentic with your kids. You have to be real. I think sometimes it's sad when other parents are comparing their selves to other parents on social media. I'm like, bro, but she's not posting her failures. She's not telling you what she's really going through. Like, if your child can only drink this type of milk, then that's fine. Why are you over here trying to go back and forth with
somebody else? Exactly. That's
I
why
don't get it.
You know, for me, I'm one of those people that never post my kids. I never showed them from birth, and I got so much backlash from friends and people having stuff to say. Your kid ain't you ain't a celebrity. Your kid ain't on social media, so they don't need to be on social media.
Woo, I called hell when I didn't post Skylar
at
all. I didn't post Skylar until she was 1. And it wasn't more so that I wanted her to be exposed, but my pregnancy was horrible. You know how most people's like, I had the best pregnancy ever. I'm like, no, I wanted to commit suicide when I was pregnant. I was trying to figure out how I was going to add a list of people that I was going to get after I dropped Skylar out. Like, low her off, boom, stitch me up, let me go so I can go fight all these people. But it was grace. Grace that saved me and grace that saved these people. Like, I'm playing. Stop. But no, I'm just saying, like, it's literally where I had
listen, I got the black suit now.
It was really where I had to get back with God because I was so upset with him and I had lost all faith. And for everybody to say, oh, that was the best part of my life, I'm like, I didn't experience that. And I know eventually I experienced that again. But I was the same way. When I didn't post Skylar, what can I post her? Then I had family members that would come take pictures with her and then would be upset. And I was like, well, if you post them, I'm going to report your page. And says, I'm going to get your page removed. Don't play with me. And I used to be that way, but it was really because I was protecting her. And there's a lot of things they did not know.
Yep.
You know, my life was threatened when I was pregnant with Skylar. And I'm like, bruh, how you going to threaten me and my whole child like I'm carrying?
Yeah.
So like you said, it's really hard sometimes to be transparent and authentic. I remember for me, I used to want to just protect a lot of people. And I'm just like, I can't do them how they do me. I don't have that in me. I wasn't raised that way.
That ain't who you are.
And my grandma was preaching every day. Here could you go with this Bible. Lord Jesus, let me just sit here. Right. And she would pray over us all the time. But I was just upset with God. And I didn't want to hear anything about him because, that was it. But after I birthed her, it birthed something new. It was a new me. Everything that I had endured before my pregnancy, I can't remember. Like, I couldn't remember when she came out and when I was holding her because I almost lost her twice while I was giving birth because they was like, Taraza, we gotta get her heartbeat keeps dropping. And at that point in time, I wasn't seeing anything. And I was like, well, I don't want a C-section. So my mom was like, look, you're gonna have to get a C-section because her heart, like, what are you thinking about? And at that same time, I had the devil just in my mind, like, just let her, let her go. But then I had God, like, no, this is it. I just need you to trust me. And I remember saying, you know what, God, I trust you. And at that point in time, I birthed my why, I birthed my legacy. I feel like I birthed my purpose, and she saved my life. Right. And so, that is some of the things.
I never knew that.
Yes. And that's some of the things that I share with parents. And they be like, you just don't look like you've been through any of that, child. Girl, if I really tell you, sis, if I really tell you. So, yeah. So I tell people all the time, it's hard to be transparent, but it's what you need. You need to say and do so people can know that you're relatable and they can come to you. You don't know how many lives you're saving by sharing your story. I feel like you sharing that reel today, you definitely touched some lives.
That's
because
so hard, man.
You be like, your boss out here, Ruth, the whole boss, she ain't go through that, but then it's like, boom, look, she has endured, but look how she's overcoming it. Look how she was surviving, but now she's thriving,
So I have my moments, child. I have my moments.
We all have our moments.
I'll be like, okay, Summer Walker album just dropped, honey. I'm like, what?
She got him all the way together.
Why you do us like that? Why?
Look, mama should have whooped you. She should have whooped you.
Listen, Summer Walker dropped the album. I said, let me get my life together. What is CBD gummies at?
Mama should have whooped yo. I was like, well,
okay, period. Okay.
but the album was real.
In case you don't know, you better go get the album if you ain't got the album. Look,
Real relatable. It was relatable.
Coins, okay,
It was relatable.
Pumping for her.
Listen, relatable. Like,
it's
yeah,
true, man. It's true.
I'm gonna try to hit a concert. I just need a concert.
Exactly.
Come on, concert.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you coming up here tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Talk with you, man. And I want to share one thing with you. When I was pregnant, I have really haven't shared this publicly. I think a couple people that know me, I would say they probably know this. But when I was pregnant, I went through a phase of wanting Lyric to stay inside my stomach.
Oh wow.
I really dealt with so much trauma that I dealt with as a person, and growing up and being molested by my stepfather, and being 5, and I don't even know how I just immediately got teary-eyed, but just knowing what I endured from 5 up, and what I was exposed to with my mom and her boyfriend at the time. I didn't want a child to come into the world and experience that. And so I really battled with, God, I'm scared for her. I'm terrified. I don't want her to be in this world. I don't, I don't even want to have a kid, And so I was like, God, I remember one day saying, God, I think she's more safe in my stomach. And I just really had to push those fears away. And for a while, I wouldn't let nobody see her. I wouldn't let nobody change her for a long time. I'm talking about I wouldn't let nobody even keep her. Only allow her dad to keep her. And I remember when the first time I left her, it might have been like 3 or 6 months. I cried, and I just cried. And that separation anxiety is real.
Oh,
when
I've been through it. Through it.
You just don't know what you don't really know how to deal with that trauma, because you don't even understand what you're feeling and why you're feeling that way, and I could have been dealing with some postpartum. I was pregnant, so I don't know what I was dealing with, but I was definitely like, I experienced all of this stuff, and I'd be damned if my kids don't go through this. They can kill me today. It's never happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I didn't want her grandparents to change her. I didn't want, nobody to watch her. My sister would help me, and I trusted her. I knew she had me. So that was cool. But other than that, I was back and forth to Atlanta. I was opening up Atlanta office. I had the baby with me. I'm driving back and forth. Like I just went through the trauma.
No, and we all experience. We all experience, because I think that's why I was fearful in the hospital. I'm like, God, I never thought that I would go through this, because you don't want to. And then you think about how you was raised, and you think about the things you were exposed to, from my dad and my mom. And I'm just like, God, I don't want it to happen. And I think for me, staying in the bed, I was like, well, God, if you just take my life, or if you just save her, like not knowing, like, I'm gonna have to explain all this to her when she get older. That's another thing. So I was very protective. Like, if anybody was around me, if you didn't see Skylar in person and you get a picture, it was like where I was so protective, but it was like I was crippled with fear. It was the trauma. It was the threat of taking my life. Girls threatening to take my life and my child's life. It was like a lot. Like,
let me stop. They must don't even know how Alpha Lambda roll. Look, they better check. Look, y'all better go check them resumes. Look it up. Y'all better go look up the deltas from Alpha Lambda from Central.
Listen,
they better stop playing.
Every time I see them, they speaking. Hey, how you doing? Fine, how are you?
Look, God said He'll make your enemies your footstool.
Listen, and that's it. And so I think for me, like, I have definitely been wherever you've been, and I'm definitely going to continue to pray for both of us. Because fear comes in. And I think for me, the self-sabotage just really came back these past 2 weeks, because God is just really doing things that are really blowing my mind. And it's amazing. And it's just like, sometimes I feel like I'm not ready, but I'm ready.
Yes, you are. He has you everywhere you're supposed to be. Every room you're supposed to be. Every person you're talking to. I don't understand it. But when I meddle, I mess up. Everything is messed up. But when I sit back and let God do His job,
that's it.
He do it way better. He can always do me better than I can do me. Okay. And you know that fear is of the devil. And God didn't give us a spirit of fear. And so, when I feel fearful, and this for anybody out there deals with fear and battle with trauma, Isaiah 43 through 45 has saved my life. Okay. I have tear drops on Isaiah 44 from years of dealing with pain, trauma, just confusion, not knowing what to do. And listen, Isaiah 44 has gotten me through some days. Okay. Yes.
Jeremiah 29:11 is mine. Listen.
See, look, I'm gonna have to go look that up. Y'all better write down these
plans. For another plans, I have
to. I like those scriptures.
Listen.
Right on the side of that Bible.
Listen.
All them marks on.
Like, listen, where's it at? It's right here. My page is about to out.
Listen, shoot.
Listen, don't play.
Yes.
I'm with you on it. So yeah, I feel like, you know, I'm honored, of course, to be here. You know, we'll definitely have you again. I feel like for the brunch, everybody was like, they didn't speak long enough, Taraza. But I'm like, sis, the venue was short. You know, they had other stuff to do. I promise you, you know, what things that the way God is moving things.
Yep. No question.
I know that you guys will be back again. So I'm excited about it, what he's getting ready to do.
Yes.
But you guys, you know, definitely blew my mind with the things that I didn't know. You know, and it was really good. And I think for me, it's more now, like Ashley always say, it's being relatable. We're in a time where you got to be relatable, you got to be authentic, you got to be transparent, you got to speak affirmations. And I think since then, everything is just like booming. So I'm not really questioning it, but I'm like, all right, God, I pray for this. Just don't let me mishandle it.
Right.
That's
yes.
That's all you got to pray. Mishandle it.
Yep. Got it. That's all you need. That's all you need. Guidance. You got the tribe you need. And sometimes that tribe changes. Sometimes that tribe ain't there for you forever. Listen. Sometimes it's for a season. You know what I'm saying? I
just told you before we started, 34, everybody ain't going.
Period. They not. It's true.
Woo! 34, everybody not going.
It's, you know, and I think that we get caught up in, you know, who's supposed to go. And God, like, no, I didn't. You said that they supposed to go. I did it. So you need to follow me. You need to listen to me. If I'm removing them, stop trying to pull them back.
Yeah.
And so he had to explain to me, like, you keep turning around, you're going to turn to a pillar of salt, just like Saul. Because you keep looking in your past. You keep looking behind you, thinking you're supposed to take everybody with you that you love, you care about, and da-da-da-da-da. Nope, they can't go. It's you. You got to go.
That's what I've been praying about, too. I'm trying to tell you, everybody not going in 30 in a year for 34. 30 forward. Everybody can't go. It's invite only. Watch his caption.
Exactly.
Sagittarius season.
Exactly. Hey, we skipping Scorpio season. We sorry, y'all. We sorry.
It's Sagittarius season out here. Okay, everybody can go. Okay, boss season.
I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Yes, and as always, we are here every Wednesday at 9:15 for Women Supporting Women Wednesday with another boss up here. Okay, another sister that's shining in the community. It's so amazing to talk to you today, boo. And until next time, until next week, I will talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Good night, guys.
Good night.